What's going on, beautiful people? It's your homie DJ Be Easy, giving you another episode of the MixUp podcast. And we got a very, very special guest in the studio right now. Rhodesia, what's happening? How you feeling?
What's up? I'm doing really good. Thanks for having me.
Yes. And honestly, the funny thing is, we were talking about this off air. We met through, social media in a sense. Because I DJ, you go to all the amazing house events and whatnot, and just we have mutual people. And then I just noticed getting all these flyers, so I'm just like, okay. And I know officially, well, kind of unofficially, I met you at a good event that was happening last summer in New London. What was it called one more time?
The New London House Music Experience.
Yes. So that was a dope experience, especially during the time that we were going through in 2020 where everything was stressful as hell.
Yes.
So that was actually a breath of fresh air, like an actual breath of fresh air, because we were outside, but also just seeing everybody feel happy in a high vibration, high frequency.
For sure.
And you're bringing more of this energy for the whole spring and summer, so I'm excited to have you here so we can talk about this.
Yeah, thank you so much. I also don't want to take all the credit. There's a lot of people who are, coming together to make this happen. I would not be able to do this by myself.
Yeah.
This is about basically people coming together, donating time, donating their resources, donating their equipment.
Yes.
And we are providing a free community event for different communities around Connecticut. Understanding Connecticut, being from this state.
Yes.
I understand that people here don't really like to drive, and we need to bring subculture and culture and music to these communities, and we want to just tap into the local park aspect, something that is kind of like an untapped resource.
Yes.
So that's what we're trying to do, and we want it to be easily accessible to people for families on a generational level.
Because honestly, a lot of times with a lot of house music events, you could bring the whole family. Because it's not going to be any crazy vulgar music, and honestly, a lot of the DJs that are there, they're bringing like their kids and stuff like that. So it's actually pretty amazing, dope, all of that. The weird thing about Connecticut is we're small, so why people don't like traveling extra 45 minutes or an hour? Because if we're in Texas to get to certain events, boom, it'll take like half the day. So I always wondered why Connecticut people complain about, this took like 40 minutes. That's nothing.
That's pretty normal commute time anywhere. But in this state, people, when you say, oh, it's a half hour away, it's a 40-minute drive, people will just automatically just not go. Growing up here, I just know that that's how it is.
What part of Connecticut?
I'm from New London, but I grew up in New London and born and raised there. But I'm in New Haven and have been in New Haven for 20 years now.
New Haven has an amazing vibe going on, not just with the whole yell and all that, but
just period.
Yes.
Just period.
Yes.
Anything that you do in New Haven, the community vibe there is so strong. It's just a really mix of wonderful diversity of subcultures. There's always something happening. And I just think it's a wonderful city, to live in and to do things. So
it's alive, and it's not too far from, your metro north to just go to different states or whatnot. But the thing is, keeping it CT based, New Haven based, the soul, the energy's there.
Yeah.
And anytime I go to New Haven, it's just like, what's next to do?
This is gonna be awesome, right?
Yeah, what pizza place do we want to go to? What bar, restaurant we want to go to? Because in a sense,
that's right.
I'm mid-30s, so I'll DJ at a club, but when I have an off time, I don't want to go to the club. I want to go to the lounge. I'm an adult now. I want to just chill. But the thing is, New Haven has all of that.
It does.
Different choices.
It does. It really does. And the restaurants and the food options are just so cultured and diverse, and you have so many things to choose from. You have just it's just really wonderful place to live. And I just like the energy in the city. When I work on weekends, but when I actually do have a weekend off or a weekend day off, waking up in the morning and I can and it's a nice day, it's sunny out, and you could just hear the energy and the vibration just coming through the windows. It's just, the city's alive and you feel it, you know?
You're selling New Haven pretty well right now.
I do like New Haven, I do. Yeah. I mean, I love New London too. The New London and New Haven really have my hearts, you know, but there's a lot of other special places in Connecticut. But the one thing I said, before we talked about, people just not necessarily liking to drive in Connecticut, understanding that, just trying to, just bring things to people. And we just want people to come out and be exposed to music and to good music and understand that there's a world of music out there that they may not have heard or been exposed to. And we have wonderful DJs right here in the state that these people would never have the opportunity to hear.
You know what's crazy? We have DJs that are close to world renowned in the sense because they travel right here in Connecticut.
People don't know that. I have a lot of friends. So most of my dance history is in New York City, and my dance background is in New York. So a lot of the dancers and people in New York, they don't have any idea as to any of this. And so it's kind of like, oh, you're doing events in Connecticut, well, who's the DJs? And I'm having to put them on, you know? And we need to put on people in Connecticut too.
Yes.
So this is part of it. It's just supporting our DJs, supporting our local talent, supporting our dancers, and just putting it all under one umbrella where it's free, it's easily accessible, and we just wanted people to have a good time and come out and, do it in different locations. So that's kind of where we're going. We want the ball to roll into the next few years, and maybe we can pick up a few different locations in the state.
It's gonna happen. Yeah. Speak it into existence, it will happen.
Absolutely.
This Sunday's event, what can we expect?
We are going to expect some really wonderful music and some great dancing. I have some dancers that I know are coming from, a few from New York, a handful from Boston, and several from right here in Hartford.
Nice.
And then we have some people who live in the New Haven area that are going to come out and hold it down because it's their local area. And so we're going to have just a mix of just people who love house music and love dancing. And DJ Wang Kun is opening.
Nice.
He is a pretty internationally known DJ.
That's what we were talking about too, right in Connecticut. Yep.
He's a wonderful DJ, And Steve Harris, another great DJ. And
I never heard his set yet, but I'm hearing good things about him, so I'm actually excited to just hear what he's going to spin, the style, the vibe.
Yes.
And
DJ Coco Motion, she is based out of Waterbury.
Okay.
And she is going to be closing. And people are just gonna...
When you say closing, Mariana Rivera, the closing,
she's gonna be knocking it out of the park.
Okay.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, she's gonna hold it down, and honestly, I have confidence in all these DJs to close. I mean, do I have preference about who? Oh, I mean, sure, but honestly, any of them, whatever lineup, even if they decided, it would be awesome.
And this is what I also notice about going to house music events and sets, because I'm coming from the world of hip hop and then also reggae, so it's a whole there's some DJs that we love each other, we care about each other, we don't care when we start, when we finish, but also I done seen the other side of the ego, I gotta finish this. No, I gotta finish this. But with house music, it's when I go to these events, there's 3 to 4 different DJs, and it's chill.
Yeah.
It's just chill. I grab my Corona, grab my line too, and then I'm cooling.
Well, it's definitely a family vibe, and the people who come together to make an event happen, they are completely understanding that it's a community and a team to make this. It's not just one person doing more. We're all collaborating and doing our part to make it work. And if someone closes, or opens this time, the next time they get to close, and then the person who closed before gets to open. And so it's always kind of like this revolving door of, you know, opportunity. You don't have just one person, the same DJs or the same 2 or 3 closing every time. We're gonna keep rotating that and give everybody the chance to like, you know, open an event, close an event, or even like in the middle. Which I honestly think that the midday set is probably the best, you know, set. I really do believe that. Because people leave early.
True.
People leave and people come late.
True.
I always say I think that the midday is always the best set. But, you know, DJs have their own perceptions on like where they want to spin, but honestly, like I haven't had any problems with my network that I'm creating here in Connecticut, and they've been just really wonderful.
No, this is a blessing in a sense, because it's nothing but positive harmony I'm hearing. It's like, not trying to sound crazy, but it's like, okay, heaven right here, just heaven with all the whole messages, the everything. So I'm excited. How far can Connecticut go global? Because I know there's quite a few Connecticut DJs and dancers that, you know, are global, but how far can we go with affecting the rest of the world?
Well, I think that we've already had some impact.
Okay.
I mean, myself, I've traveled, but I mean, I don't make music, but I can say specifically, since we were already talking about DJ Wankun, I could just use him as an example. We don't have all day. He was one of the people that put Dawn Tallman on and got her her career up and going, and you know,
I did not know that.
He was like one of the people to support her and, you know, and help her with some of her earlier tracks and all that stuff. And I don't know all the specific details, but he's definitely like, so that right there alone is a big, you know, step. He worked with Phoenix Fire, Dawn Tallman, and several others, and they all live in Connecticut. So that alone right there, that's already made an impact, and it has influenced, you know.
And somebody that I'm thinking about too, native New Yorker, but he does a lot in Connecticut. Shout out to James Hall, right?
Oh, James Hall, yes.
Yes.
James Hall and Soul Selector, yes.
And Soul Selector, actually,
they're both from New York.
he's my like, I could say this. He's like my older brother's best friend.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I remember him when I was younger, and he was doing poetry.
Oh.
So
I'm gonna have to call him out. I'm gonna ask him to, like, you know,
give you
some bars.
Give you a couple lines. But he got that. So this is amazing. Any other shout outs before we get into like, okay, how we can connect with you and flyers and all that too?
I mean, I basically just want to say thank you to the whole team and the network that we're putting together. I appreciate everything that you guys do. My team, Tanisha, Goka, thank you guys so much. All the guys that come out and like help us with like the small things, with like, you know, moving equipment, you know, helping with picking up trash.
I was just about to say that, because
just little things. This is all volunteer time. This is all stuff that there's no budget, you know. We are just, you know, if someone knows how to make flyers, like, hey, can you do this flyer for me? Like, I do flyers too. You know, it's just like, you know, we just kind of resource and pool.
It's a village.
Yeah, like, oh, I know this person who could do this, I could do this, you know. So this is just what we're doing. We just needed people to coordinate all the people that and what their expertises were and what resources people had. And it's just availability. It's about just having a calendar and having someone to, you know, organize all these people. And that's what me, Tanisha, and Goka are doing. And that's our team. So it's me, Tanisha, and Kelly Rhodesia. And so we're the ones who are basically like, you know, coordinating everyone. And I just want to give a huge shout out to the network we're building and trying to like stay together as a family and put on quality events that are like rooted in real culture and real music, you know. So, I mean, I know that some people, like, you know, their idea of what dance music is and what DJing is in certain people's minds or perceptions, but, like, we have to, like, let them, you know, speak for themselves, like, let their own artistry, like,
exactly,
you know, do it. So, and then you're not gonna know until you actually show up and hear like a set, hear an original track, hear, how people are mixing, blending, what they're doing with the music. So, and again, you're not gonna show up to any of these events and probably not gonna hear anything that you're gonna hear on the radio,
And that's another thing that I love, because it's like,
this is all underground.
I'm not
music.
like, I'm not trying to,
diss anyone.
Yeah,
right, no.
because pretty much I send mixes to a top 40 radio station in Vermont, so I understand that importance, but also the balance of like, okay, you have to, be introduced to something new that's not being pushed by the grand machine, the grand wizard machine. So this is what keeps the real art alive, because there's a lot of artists and DJs that you don't even know who they are, and they're making millions of dollars traveling.
Yes.
And whatnot. So this
is something that I feel like I have to talk about a lot here in Connecticut, because a big part of this is just outreaching and expanding the community to the younger generation. We're getting older, and the scene is changing, so we can't expect it to continue to go on the way it has in the past. So that's why these free events that are tailored and catered to a family, family orientated, because we need to get the younger generation to be exposed to this music.
Yes.
Otherwise, you're just going to hear what's on the radio,
and that's
where the problem is. It's not that it's a problem listening to radio airplay. The problem is that that's the only thing you're being exposed to. That's the problem. I like radio stuff too.
Yes.
Like I go skating. Like we listen. That's not the problem. It's just you have to understand that there's a wide world of music.
Yes.
And that there's so much more out there. So I'll have like some people who are younger, and they'll come to some of these events, and they'll be like, "Oh, can we request songs and stuff?" I'm like, no.
This is not the scene for Cardi B right now. This is not the scene for Meg Thee Stallion. This is not the scene for even what everybody loves Drake. This is not a scene for it right now. This is the scene for a DJ or an artist that's from Okinawa, Japan, or something like that. Something fresh. Something fresh.
You gotta let them do their art. Let them be creative and do their artistry. So that's kind of like those conversations are. But this has to happen for people to learn it. You know what I mean? So this is where we are. It's kind of like starting at the bottom again. Like back in the 80s, think about hip hop, or like the 70s. Everything was in the park.
Yes.
Bring it back to the park.
Yeah. When everybody was just doing it for the love, doing it for fun, doing it for the expression, instead of doing it for a corporation.
That's right.
So, oh my God, we got to do a part 2.
Yeah.
Because we ran over a little bit, but it's all good, because this is what I needed to hear. This is the message from the messenger that the people need to hear.
That's right.
So we're going to do part 2, probably, I don't know, July, August, and probably outside in the park.
Whenever you're ready to have me, I'm down. We're going to be doing events all through the summer into the fall. So, I'm sure when we do another interview, I'll have another event coming right up after it.
Yes. So, tell everybody your social media one more time and how to contact you.
I'm RHO_Tahani on IG, or Rhodesia, RHO DESIA on Facebook. And I have all the events and flyers and event pages on between the two, Instagram and Facebook. So I hope to see you guys out there. It's going to be dope.
Yeah, this Sunday, May the 9th.
Gulf Street Park, New Haven.
Yes.
The New Haven House Music Experience. See ya.
Yes. Be there. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be doing my 2-step and just vibing out, y'all. But we'll be back next week with the MixUp. Peace and blessings. And whatever you guys do on this Cinco de Mayo, please be safe.